Hello, welcome to this week's Forex Outlook here at xm.com. My name is Rafi Boyajian, currency analyst, and here with me is our chief economist, Michalis Orendiadis. So, Michalis, we saw the dollar extending its gains this week. Even though we did see some losses in the past couple of days, it's still on track for weekly gains, despite the fact that we saw an escalation in the trade tensions. It dominated the market theme early in the week. So, what's the latest?
Yes, I think it was very characteristic of this week that early on we had quite an intense risk-off environment with stocks selling off, and particularly the Kiwi, the Loonie, and the Aussie falling quite sharply. These are obviously, Canada, New Zealand, Australia, with the dependence on commodities, and with the trade worries, Canada has the extra. Being part of NAFTA and those deliberations. So we had some sharp losses with those, but we did get some moderating remarks, and that led to a bit of a rebound. All those stocks on the week are down, and as you said, the dollar is slightly up. So the dollar so far is gaining, not dramatically. I think it's gaining more against these currencies that have a lot to lose, but it's managing to climb a little bit. And also, I think it's important to note that the yuan also made a 6-month low. So this is also an indication of tensions and forex tensions and trade tensions.
And apart from those pairs that you just mentioned, we also saw sterling falling quite sharply, touched near 8 months lows. We are seeing a bit of a rebound today following the GDP upgrade and remarks by Michel Barnier, the EU chief negotiator. But why were the losses for sterling so deep this week?
I think it's a little strange, the timing of these losses, but what happened was that the pound was firstly a victim of Brexit worries, I believe, and with the EU summit, we were not really expecting any good news to come out of it regarding Brexit, so that could have been a confirmation that things are not going so well. Of course, you had some more positive comments, as you said, and we also have a dove, a relative dove, replacing one of the hawks in the Monetary Policy Committee. So this was also an excuse to sell the pound, although I don't think that's a determining factor, because I don't think that we get such split votes with regards to the Monetary Policy Committee. Another thing to watch about this week was the very strong oil price, especially WTI, the US contract. This might have been more related to efforts by the United States to curtail the sales of Iranian oil. So this was perhaps driving up the price of other oil contracts. Having said all this, Rafi, what are we to expect next week? What's on the agenda? What should we watch out for?
Well, the main highlights next week will be the US jobs report. In particular, the wage growth once again will be watched for signs of inflationary pressures in the US. We're also going to have a jobs report out of Canada as well. The Bank of Japan will be publishing its quarterly Tankan survey on Monday. That will start the week. We're also going to have an RBA meeting as well. We're not expecting any change from the Reserve Bank of Australia. And as you mentioned, the trade worries are basically the main drivers for the Aussie. We don't like to see anything new coming out of the RBA in terms of well, they could possibly mention trade concerns, but so far they remain fairly upbeat about growth. It's going to be fairly quiet in the Eurozone, but we will have a Riksbank policy meeting. We saw the Swedish krona falling sharply, both against the euro and the dollar this week. So we're going to see whether or not the Riksbank is going to provide the krona any new direction. And plus, we're going to have the UK PMIs. Those will be closely watched.
Okay, well, it's interesting to note that a lot of investors are closely scrutinizing central bank decisions and statements to check whether worries about the trade conflict are starting to enter the monetary policy debate or dialogue. That will be very interesting, and especially for a bank like the RBA. And generally, well, it's a data heavy week, so together with trade developments, there is quite a lot. Although we are entering to the second month of the summer, next week it seems like it is a busy and volatile summer. Thank you very much, Rafi. Thank you everyone for watching, and have a great day.